We are live from Table Tennis America in Fremont, California, where we are counting down the minutes to MLTT Championship match. It's going down here in 20 minutes. I'm your host, Tianna Cohen, and as always, I am joined by Table Tennis TV insider Luke Scotchie, and we have a special guest, and that is Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. Sean, thank you so much for being with us here as we count down the minutes to the MLTT Championship match. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of who's hitting that table here for championships, Luke, we're about to bring out the Portland Paddlers and the Carolina Gold Rush for championships. Can you tell the fans what they accomplished here this weekend to get to championships?
You know, both these teams have accomplished a lot this weekend, especially the Portland Paddlers, who entered Fremont on a roster that had 4 of their key players missing, and they were going up against a red-hot Princeton Revolution team that had something to prove, especially as the last team to make it to the postseason. Now, they're still in contention, but it was dire for the Paddlers 48 hours ago, and the two teams traded points throughout most of the match until the golden game, when free agent Carlos Hernandez gave the Paddlers a comfortable lead and allowed Katomi Omoda at 2019 to score the deciding point to send the Portland Paddlers to championship weekend. And they'll go off against the reigning MLTT champions Carolina Gold Rush, who started their match against the Chicago Wind as well as anybody could have hoped. You know, with some heroics from Eugene Wong and Chen Soon, they started that first half and ended it on a 7-2 intermission. Chicago found some life in the second half, but in the golden game, you know, this was always Carolina's match to win. And Chen Soon confirmed that by scoring the deciding point to set up Portland versus Chicago in the champion match.
That's right. The championship match is Portland Paddlers versus the Carolina Gold Rush. And if you want to catch that match, be sure to subscribe to Table Tennis TV. Sign up right now if you haven't done so already. Scan the QR code on your screen, tabletennis.tv. Sign up right now so you can watch the championship match live from right here in Fremont, California, where history will be made. And speaking of history, you know, yesterday Luke and I got to sit down with Sid Naresh and Nikhil Kumar of the Portland Paddlers. Why don't we take a moment and look back at that conversation with them we had after the semifinal match. Congratulations. I know both of you were kind of anxious going into this weekend. It's got to feel a little bit of relief now, right? Wouldn't you say, Nikhil?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it was obviously, of course, not easy to not be here without Hampisk, Min Hyung-ji, and Kang Dong-soo. So quite a blow for us, but I mean, Carlos Hernandez stepped it up big time for us, and honestly was maybe the MVP for me for today's match. So I'm really grateful to have him on the team this weekend. And yeah, we're going to keep fighting for one more tomorrow.
You know, I was actually kind of saying earlier, it felt like Carlos Hernandez has been a Portland Paddler the whole season. The way he was just going with you guys, cheering along with you, getting so excited. You have that effect on people, Nikhil. You get people really riled up during these matches.
And honestly, and the riled up was needed to happen because this match went back and forth so many times, but there had to be at least one moment where you guys figured out, oh, we might actually have a shot to win this. So Sid, what was that moment for you where you realized this is the turning point of this match for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly it was that first match. Jens just played unbelievable, like just really, really strong against Cho Seung-min, winning that last was it golden point in the third game? Yeah, like watching that last ball go past Seung-min, that's like when it really clicked for me, like, oh, we have a fighting shot. And then from there, I think we just took it one point at a time, like a ton of close matches, but yeah, and then also Katomi, watching her win those 2 points at 18-18, like then I started to calm down like a tiny bit, but like, yeah, honestly,
anymore. I was just sitting on the chair hoping she would just take it all the way for us.
It was just really a full team effort.
We're back into the action. We're going to talk now. Sean O'Neill, what are you thinking going into this championship match about the Portland Paddlers? I would just love to get your insight because not only are you an expert in the sport, but you're also a Portland local. Talk to me of what you're feeling.
No, it's definitely tough because I have a bias. I'd like to see a home team win, but I've been fortunate enough to be part of 7 Olympic final days for commentary, and the buzz here is so exciting. I don't know who to pick. It's a pick-em match. Portland has so much intensity right now. I think it rides on Nikhil Kumar's shoulders as the kind of the lone ranger out there, but then at the same time for Carolina, Enzo Angles. He's been everything to the team, so I just can't wait to get behind and watch the first point being played.
You know, Sean, I absolutely agree with you in that these players who made it to Fremont for Portland are going to have a massive role going into this match. And so it's on Katomi Omoda, it's on Nikhil Kumar, it's on Jens Lundqvist, and it's on Sid Naresh. Sean, you know, as somebody who's been in situations, high pressure in the sport before, what do you think is, you know, probably going through these players' heads right now as they compete for their first MLTT Cup in team history?
No, I think the semifinal match taught them a lot, how far they can dig deep inside. They weren't projected to win, but they found a way to do it. So I think right now, intensity-wise, Portland has a slight edge, but I think talent-wise, Carolina's looking very strong.
No, Sean, you just said it. You know, we all kind of thought, the buzz yesterday was that Portland was at a disadvantage because they're missing 3 of their top players, but it really didn't feel that way yesterday. It felt like they really showed up here. How do you think coming into today, now they have that win already under their belts, they're made it to championships, how do you think that's going to affect their momentum?
Well, I think their momentum has been built all season long. I mean, since October, they have not lost. But to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. The problem is they're facing the defending champs. So they've got their work cut out for them.
You know, Luke, I'd love to get your touch here, too, on just what you think Portland really has to do to secure the win today. You've been following along as journalist reporter all season long. Big fan of the Paddlers. What do you think they need to do to secure the win?
You know, I mean, like you said, I am a fan of what the Paddlers have done this season. Again, they're 16-2. They haven't lost a match since October. But as Sean just said, you have to beat the champion in order to be the champion. And again, there's going to be a lot of pressure on not just the 4 players who have made the trip to Portland from their active roster, but also on free agent Carlos Hernandez, who's going up against Enzo Angles in singles 3. Now, he played very, very well against Benedict Ola yesterday against Princeton, and he could be arguably the reason why Portland is here in the first place. And they're going to have to rely on Carlos Hernandez a lot if, you know, Portland is going to hoist the MLTT Cup for the first time.
Yeah, Sean, what did you think of Carlos Hernandez's performance yesterday as a paddler?
I was thoroughly amazed. I congratulated him going into this match, and really, he needed to take 1 game. He played great. If for some reason he could take 2 today, I think that would be the difference.
You know, it's so exciting to see players when they're free agents kind of come in and just rally behind the team that they are playing for. And how special for Carlos, you know, it's championship weekend. He's going to the championship as a free agent. But I said it, we heard it in that clip. He kind of felt like a paddler the whole time. They've really created such a special family. They're very vocal. And, you know, Carolina's very vocal, which we're going to talk about them here in a little bit. We're going to be right back, and we're going to take a deep dive into the other side of the table, which of course is the Carolina Gold Rush, and we'll take a glimpse at our last night's interview with Enzo Angles.
Right into it, that world apart.
Whatever your game, you'll find it at BetOnline. Trusted for over 25 years by millions worldwide. With the largest selection of sports and props in the industry, the latest and hottest casino games, live Vegas-style dealers, and our exclusive VIP program with millions in cash paid out every month. No rollovers and no restrictions. It's all right at your fingertips. BetOnline, the game starts here.
We are just moments away from the championship match here live from Fremont, California. Once again, I'm Tianna Cohen, and I'm here with Luke Scotchie and Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. Before we jump back into what we're thinking and how we're feeling about the Carolina Gold Rush, last night, Luke and I got to sit down with Season 1 MVP Enzo Angles after they took the semifinal match win last night. Let's take a moment right here and hear what Enzo had to say. Enzo, congratulations. Carolina Gold Rush just took the win here tonight in the second semifinals against Chicago, which means you're going to the championship game tomorrow. Talk to us. What's going through your head right now?
I mean, obviously we are very happy. We can make 2 years in a row. Let's see, it will be again a big fight. You know, today we were like the underdog. Tomorrow is maybe a little bit different, but I think our anger for the victory will not be less. So let's see.
You know, and so there were multiple moments throughout that match in which it looked like it could have gone either way. But in your mind, was the turning point that made you realize, oh, wait, we might actually win this thing?
I mean, I think when we start to take down Gardos and then Sunshine win 3-0, we are in a position where after it's Lebeson against me, and the only thing we cannot do is lose 3-0. After, it doesn't matter so much if win 2-1 or lose 2-1 almost, because we all know the decider is the golden. So we see, I mean, we won this one, but they can win also this one every day as well. So, yeah.
Sean, let's now go to the other side of the table. Let's talk about what does Carolina have to do to defend their championship title here today?
You know, it's going to be tough all around because it's the finals. But I think with Enzo leading the pack, of course, singles one, Eugene Wong. I have never seen him play so amplified yesterday. I'm just in awe. And I, again, congratulated him last night. And I said, what happened? He goes, it was my brother out there. I'm like, what the heck? So, I mean, maybe his brother will show up again today. But Carolina, I think, starting with Coach Alex Yang, they have a clear plan. He's playing it down. He's not trying to say they're the heavy favorite. He's like, we're going to just fight. I think that's the right approach.
I think it's a really good approach, especially for the Carolina Gold Rush, just to keep doing what's worked. And that's something that they really haven't had the privilege of doing this season. You know, this is a very, very different Carolina Gold Rush team from the team that won the Season 2 championship. New faces are in, old faces are out, including Sid Naresh, who is going to be playing against the Carolina Gold Rush as a member of the Paddlers. Sean, how does this roster compare to the roster that Carolina won the MLTT Cup last season with?
Actually think it's deeper, with especially starting with the ladies with Chen Sun. She just played phenomenal in the semifinals. So I think Katomi, although she's had some success, that's going to be a very pivotal match.
Speaking of Chen Sun, you know, she's the only female to get, only player, not even female, only player to get a sweep in the semifinal rounds yesterday, which just shows the caliber of competition out here. It's been really close all weekend long. Sean, I'd love to get your thoughts about the Golden Game, because we know here the Golden Game determines it all. How do you think that kind of affects the way players and coaches are approaching championships?
Well, generally I look at both players that win the final point, and it's the two ladies. Katomi yesterday, 21-19. Chen Sun came in with a tricky serve right at the end against Shan Zhang. So I'm interested to see if they will be facing up, or if they'll have to do mixed singles matches where they might take on the men, because they both have beaten a lot of the men's players.
I love it when the ladies beat the men. It's probably my favorite part about table tennis, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, maybe.
You know, Sean, I really want to talk here about, this is the third season. You've been with MLTT from the beginning. What's been something that has been fun for you to see kind of evolve over the 3 seasons?
Yeah, I think the innovations that we've seen, I think the team's getting stronger and deeper. I love when the coaches are doing the talking during the timeouts. For me as a coach, I love it to see how they get into the mind of the player, what advice they give them. Maybe sometimes they don't say anything because they know that the less you say, the better in a certain situation. But I think ultimately from the staff to the crew, it's just one big family. And every weekend it's a highlight of my month to come jump on a plane and be with you guys.
You know, the Carolina Gold Rush have, you know, tons of championship experience, from Enzo Angles to Eugene Wong, to Edward Lee, all players who have won in Season 2 before. And they've got a lot of new players too, all of whom have had moments to shine throughout the entire season. But sometimes all it takes is just one player to be the difference between winning and losing. And for this match, the most important match of Carolina's season so far, which player do you think is going to have the biggest responsibility?
I think for both teams, it's the very first match. Whoever starts strong, I think Eugene Wong with the level of play that he exhibited yesterday, and I think Jens Lundqvist, the exact same thing. We will know a lot after singles one.
You know, it's kind of beautiful that this is where we ended up here after a season, because as we're getting these shots of the crowd, we're looking at all these fans. I felt like when we were in Portland during the season and when we were in Charlotte for Carolina, that was some of the best crowd energy and reaction that we got here for table tennis. It's so exciting to see. Sean, if you were sitting in the seats, if you were just got to sit back and really enjoy, what is just one of your favorite things to watch when you're at Major League Table Tennis?
For me, it all comes down to the celebration. I think whoever wins today, they will mob their teammates. They will just be smiling for the next 4 months till season 4 begins. And I think that both teams completely worthy of being here in championship weekend. Portland, a wonderful season. They're continuing their run, and then Carolina's just been phenomenal.
You know, speaking of these fans, like Sean, as a table tennis player, you would know that how important it is for the room to match the energy. And so, Sean, you know, what do you think the impact that having the fans be as loud as they are, especially for these two fan bases, how is that going to impact the game, in your opinion?
Well, I think what's going to happen with Portland, they have a little bit of a secret weapon. Nikhil Kumar is from the Bay Area. He went to school here at Berkeley. He won national titles at NCTTA. I think he's going to use that energy to his advantage because they know when he wins these quick, short points, that's the same as the big shots. So I think that that's going to be an advantage that Portland should be able to tap into.
Well, thank you so much, Sean, for spending your pregame with us, hanging out as we count down to championship weekend. My friends watching at home, watching in the stands, thank you for being with us all weekend long as the countdown to championship weekend has been ticking. Once again, if you have not subscribed and signed up for tabletennis.tv, do so now so that you can watch every moment of the action, including the celebration at the end, because after this, someone's walking home away a winner, and they're taking home this MLTT Cup. On behalf of Luke Scotchie, Sean O'Neill, and the entire MLTT family, I'm Tianna Cohen. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the table.